Guys of Reddit, what's a good way for a girl to start a conversation with you? No shit. A girl in a bar a few weeks ago just sat right down next to me, put her hand on my shoulder, and said please talk to me. 110% worked flawlessly. That's the level of creativity you need. This girl walked into class on the first day of the semester like 5 minutes late. One of the only seats open was right by me, so she sat down, got settled, then pulled out some runts and said, "Hey, you can have some of these as long as don't take the bananas." I basically spent the whole semester hung up on her, so if that was her intention, by God it worked. "Hey there, mom, this is a Wendy's." A compliment on something simple like "I like your shirt." Guys don't get enough compliments already, and any time a girl compliments a guy he'll usually be so flattered he won't know what to even say. Find something in common, whether it be what's on their shirt or what they're doing like drawing, etc. If not, just start with whatever's going on around you. I feel sorry for anyone, man or woman, who tries to start a conversation with me. My mind goes blank when I speak with new people. I can give only the most obvious, terse answers to anything. It would be better if the woman simply wanted someone to listen to her and not seek a real conversation. "Hey, how are you?" As long as you're not insulting us, you're golden. A compliment is a good way to start. It gets our attention, and it's not often we get compliments, especially from the opposite sex. Some of us get compliments so rarely that we think that any compliment said to us is a joke. Ask us for help with something. We will almost always say yes, no matter if we know what we're doing or not. "I don't care, I'm just lonely." Stop right there, criminal scum. The weirder the better. Married guy here with 3 kids. Let's assume the conversation is not necessarily intended to be romantic. Maybe you're the only 2 people watching gymnastics practice or something. If there's any kind of shared activity, you can't go wrong commenting on it to the guy. Works both ways, like "Wow, they have really improved this year" or something. Easy peasy for any kind sport, activity with kids involved. However, let's say kids were not involved and maybe there is some actual intent to flirt, get to know a possible person to ask on a date. I remember being single and being blown away when a woman would initiate conversation. So much depended on the context. At a party with mutual friends it was easy. "So how do you know Bob and Jenny?" "I'm Mary, by the way." It's a very disarming conversation starter and gives you an in. And always remember who everyone's favorite person to talk about is themselves. Ask questions and then actually shut up and listen. Add some commentary along the way, but let them speak. Really, what I am saying above is just go read Dale Carnegie's books. That guy knew some stuff about communication that holds true decades later. You wanna see my Bionicle collection? Hi. If you want to really grab his attention, try you checking me out. I saw you looking. My name is. I promise you he will never forget your name. Can confirm. Had a bartender ask if I was looking at her ass one time. After being completely floored by the quotation and stammering though a simple "no," she said, "Well, you should be." This was almost 10 years ago and never went any further than that. Yet I still haven't forgotten her or her opener. Opener is a weird name for ass. Hey. None of us care, we'll remember how it starts. As soon as we're aware you're talking to us, we're just trying not to say something dumb or just grab you and pet you too hard like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. It's quite the tightrope, actually. She noticed me on her first day of work. She started with a boo after clumsily stomping down the stairwell that she knew I was working by, hoping to startle me. "We just got married 2 months ago." You're finally awake. Depends on if it's Ralof or Cardi B saying it. Smile, ask if you can join me, then get up and walk away after realizing your mistake. Just pretend it's someone you aren't nervous to talk to. How do you talk to a customer at work, a group member in school, a cashier at the store? Starting a conversation isn't hard, it's just the anxiety behind having interest in the person. Start out simple and move forward from there. You can do it. It's easy. Just walk up to me and press her on the controller. Just ask a question or say literally anything. We are so pleasantly surprised when a girl initiates conversation. It literally doesn't matter. Most guys are so attention hungry from girls that we would appreciate anything. Just try to tap into either of your interests. 100%. If a girl went up to me and talked only about herself for 10 minutes, I would feel flattered, and by flattered, I mean I would have busted a nut. Literally anything. Guys will talk to a tree if it talks first. Absolutely rigorously anything so long as you respect rules number 1 and number 2. Cardio and double tap. Compliments work. Ask us about our interests. If you want to make it clear you're interested, ask us if we're single. If we're wearing a band shirt, ask us about it. Even if you're not familiar with the band, ask us what we like about it and what we'd recommend you listening to. If you really want to make an impression, don't be afraid to be a little random, weird. Oh cool, what kind of music does Star Wars play? Darth Metal. What are you reading there? Works best with physical books. Kind of creepy if I'm reading on my phone, though. You look fuckable. Me. Why thank you. Based on real events at Walmart. From a guy named Bulldozer. If you have an inkling of something the guy is interested in, ask him about it, possibly prepare to get your ear talked off. Bonus points if you know anything more about the subject. If the guy's a blank slate, ask about something popular at that moment in time. Use memes as a quick reference. Today it would likely be about Baby Yoda, for example. When I was in college, I was hanging out in the lounge of my dorm when this girl that lived there walked past with a pizza. She said to me, "Hey, I just got this pizza and I can't finish it all myself. Want to help me eat it and watch House in my room?" I found this girl attractive and the offer of free pizza was just an added benefit for me. It was definitely the best conversation starter pickup line I have had used on me. I had a girl who threw this at me at work one day. I didn't catch it, and then she loudly exclaimed, "You dropped the F-bomb at work. How unprofessional of you." Hooked. Anyway, please, I just want to talk. Ask him what he likes. Would you not use a greeting and introduce yourself first? Say in a Skyrim guard's voice, "Wait, I know you." In all seriousness, you can say anything to start a conversation with us, lol. Have you heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Something more than "Hey, how are you?" Because to me it's so common to just pass someone in the store and say hey as a polite thing that it doesn't catch my attention. You literally have to stop and say something. Call my attention to something like, if I'm at the store, ask about something, I'll stop and try to answer it. Something where it's not the usual pleasantries. Hello there. People, or women in this case, should be able to categorize their interests and then find common ground systematically by probing with questions such as, "You play any video games? If yes, ask for videos. About the learning curve, ranking system, funny character customization, what are you studying, did you study?" Followed by asking what kind of companies could you work for, but which ones do you dream of working for? Do you try to stay active? If they seem like the type. Followed by a workout routine, sports schedule. What car would you buy with 80k? What's the most you've drank in one night? Again, judge by type. Most people will have an answer. What's the farthest you've traveled from here? Last resort number 1. Do you like to make memes? Last resort number 2. Do you think Epstein killed himself? Last resort number 3. I'm looking for a deep, long-lasting commitment in a very short time. What are you looking for? Alternatively, for making a conversation as short as possible. Do you enjoy killing people? If you'd like to start a conversation with a police officer, works anywhere. Do you have any spare change? To get out of a conversation altogether. Take out your gun and point it at his neck. 34 and never having a girlfriend at this point in life. I assume whatever woman would want to go out or hang out with me, probably in the head anyways. Talk to me about my hamster. The easiest way to get on my good side is like my hamster. I admit I may be flawed, but my hamsters have been upstanding, good, flawless individuals to date so far, with a selfless love for me even if I am a flawed individual. They've had a knack for putting me in a good mood, even when I'm in a pretty crappy mood. Your hamster would never project that you are in the head for liking him. Learn from this, and love yourself like he loves you. Seriously. Talk to me about music or video games. Heck, No, I'm gonna sound crazy. Asterisk whispers, asterisk cooking. Just say hello. Hi. Do you like boobs? My interest is instantly piqued. I've seen quite a few joke answers and quite a few bad answers playing into really self-deprecating stereotypes. I think the best way, in my opinion, is to ask for help, not damsel in distress help, but let's say you're at a bar or coffee shop. Just a simple hey, do you know what the cross street is here? I saw another answer about a girl offering pizza, but she said, hey, I can't eat all this. Think you could come help me? It's an easy open invitation to interact and engage. Guys very typically like helping, problem solving. At the very least you'll get an answer to that icebreaker of a question. An easy letdown if they aren't interested. Sorry I don't, goes back to doing what they're doing, or someone interested but doesn't know the answer and they'll go out of their way to find the answer because they want to provide it for you. Once they're talking it can easily move into further conversation. Oh thanks. You're a lifesaver. Do you come here often? Type of stuff. But like I said, it doesn't have to be some big ask for help. Almost anything. Hey, I was asking my friends something and they didn't know. How do you, what is, do you think type of questions. But as I said, they should be pertinent to the situation. I don't want to be somewhere and have someone come ask me if I like red cars or blue cars more. But do you know what time X place closes? Can be a great icebreaker. Also, I saw a comment about do you like boobs? I may be the minority in this opinion, but this was a turn off. It was asked to me by an attention whore who was pissed I wasn't checking her out, and I could see out of the corner of my eye that she was getting frustrated she couldn't flaunt her shit and get me to gawk at her. So she was like, hey, do you think my boobs are too big? And I just went, hey, everyone has their type, and walked off. I'm not interested in dealing with someone like that. She had great tits. But I realized she was a hollow person very quickly. If she had said, hey, odd question but will cabs come around back or do I have to meet them out front? The bar is in a weird location behind a strip center and it's very discreet and hard to find. I would have been more than happy to engage in conversation with her. Ask them how many turkeys do they think can fit inside a Mini Cooper. Don't think of it as guy versus girl. Instead we are all just people. And you start conversations the same way with any person. You grab their ears and sit on their face. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead. Let your hair down. I'd just assume it's some kind of practical joke if it happened. Just speaking to us or giving a compliment would make our day. Compliment. Introduce. Question. This works both ways round, so everyone can use it. Examples. 1. I really like your shoes. My name's is insert name. Where could I buy some of those as a gift for my mum, dad, sister, brother? Make it someone family. 2. You smell amazing. I've never smelt that aftershave before. My name is insert name. What are you wearing? 3. You look like you'll have a really great time and I couldn't help but notice your smile. My name is insert name. What are you celebrating? The process immediately gets someone on your side, then reduces the awkwardness and breaks the ice about who you are, making the other person feel a little more at ease. Then elicits a response to a perfectly legitimate and related question to begin the two-way interaction. I've never had this technique fail on me. Disclaimer: not a man, but when I was on Bumble I'd always start the conversation with what's your favorite marsupial? So I could tell if they were on my level of weird. It's how I started the first conversation I ever had with my almost 2 years later, and we're weird together now. I know a girl who went up to a guy she never met before and said, "What's wrong with your face?" They've been together for 3 years now. You can literally say anything to a guy. Epstein didn't kill himself. Hi, I'm. What's your name? By the way, my wife walked up to me on campus and asked me out. We've been married for nearly 24 years now. Literally come up to me and ask me anything. I don't have many people talk to me and I might be shy, but once I'm talking to you for a bit I will get less shy. Ask me about my sausage. Pork or beef. Simple compliment, nice hair, stuff like that. Most of the time if we are interested we will give you one back and strike up the conversation. Is that a phone in your pocket or are you excited to see me? Always works on me. Anyway is good. As a guy that's kind of anxious around people I don't know, I'm so scared of starting any conversation, especially with girls, that even just a hey would be a green light. Talk to us. We are not animals. How badass are Vikings? A new Half-Life game was announced. I usually talk to girls about something we both relate to, and apparently this person who fancied me had a similar idea. Didn't know each other very well, so she looked at me as I was waiting for my order. She said, suppose that you were sitting down at this table. The napkins are in front of you. Which napkin would you take? The one on your left, or the one on your right? The one on your left side, or the one on your right side? Usually you would take the one on your left side. That is correct too. But in a larger sense on society, that is wrong. Perhaps I could even substitute society with the universe. The correct answer is that it is determined by the one who takes his or her own napkin first. Yes, if the first one takes the napkin to their right, then there's no choice but for others to also take the right napkin. The same goes for the left. Everyone else will take the napkin to their left, because they have no other option. This is society. Who are the ones that determine the price of land first? There must have been someone who determined the value of money first. The size of the rails on a train track, the magnitude of electricity, laws and regulations. Who was the first to determine these things? Did we all do it because this is a republic? Or was it arbitrary? No, the one who took the napkin first determined all of these things. The rules of this world are determined by that same principle of right or left. In a society like this table, a state of equilibrium, once one makes the first move, everyone must follow. In every era, this world has been operating by this napkin principle, and the one who takes the napkin first must be someone who is respected by all. It's not that anyone can fulfill this role. Those that are despotic or unworthy will be scorned, and those are the losers. In the case of this table, the eldest, or the master of the party, will take the napkin first, because everyone respects those individuals.